dude, you attract the things you want by the person that you become. Money is like a butterfly. You can't, you chase it, it'll just, right? It'll disappear. But you must attract it with the energy, with the type of person that you are. So when you look at that and you include that fear in there, you do enough education, you get yourself and you achieve your mindset, like all aligns, that fear dissipates. And it just becomes like, that's a friend. Thank you, fear. Thank you for teaching me. What are you trying to tell me? I got this.
Damas y caballeros, you guys already know what time it is. It's Wednesday. You already know what day it is. Wednesday. It's the Warriors Collective. This is your boy Cutthroat, accompanied by my favorite gentleman in the world, Antonio. We got Jacob, and we got Ant Woods.
And real quick, can I apologize? Because we never get these episodes out on Wednesday, so people are probably confused as fuck because I'm throwing it out on Fridays, Saturdays. But that's that's part of the hustle. We just do what we can when we can.
But, so you know, and we're accompanied by a good friend of ours, Charlie. Charlie over here is the owner of N Wellness. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm good, man.
Well, we're very privileged to have you, man.
Thanks for
really
having
happy
me.
to have you here with us and join us on this this journey that we've been doing for quite some time, about 3 months now, you guys. We've been kind of packing in these episodes and sharing some emotional wealth, some intelligence, and hopefully breaking barriers for people out there that are going through life struggles or having like these parts and kind of obstacles that they're going through, and we're trying to promote how to get through it, how to work through it, and how to overall become a better man. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So how's you guys' weeks going? Everybody's doing good so far?
Yes, sir.
Hanging in there, man.
Busy one. It's been a busy one.
Absolutely. So we always do a little bit of a check-in, kind of dive into the motions, unpack a little bit how everything's been going through the week. So Ant Woods, why don't you write us out on this one?
Happily. Give me a second, fellas. It's been a busy day. Let me just silence the noise a little bit. Checking in with a ton of happiness, a ton of curiosity, a bit of anxiety. I was a little late to meet up with you guys today, so being late to anything as important as this is a bit overwhelming for me. But I'm here. I'm happy. I'm super interested to learn about my brother here, and I'm grateful. Checking in with a ton of gratitude.
I'll step up to the plate next. Appreciate y'all coming through and making the time. Took a little while getting everything set up, and so I'm feeling a little of the residual stress from that. Got a little of this N Wellness relax in me though, so I'm gonna let that ashwagandha. I'm at T-minus maybe 20 minutes for this ashwagandha to kick in.
Hey.
But other than that, a little bit of anxiety associated with just what we went through, but we'll loosen up here in a minute. As far as updates, if y'all keep in tune on all the just bullshit I've been going through, feeling pretty good, man. Lightening the load. In yesterday's check-in, one of the fellas there talked about downgrading his car and going from like an SUV to a more fuel-efficient Prius, and how he felt like although he was more vulnerable on the streets due to the smaller vehicle, he felt more nimble, and there was something in that resonated with me, and that's kind of the story for me in this season, is trying to lighten the load of some of the different projects, which pulls back some of the things I identify as, an entrepreneur, multi-businesses, gym, whatever the fuck it might be, pulling back some of that armor, if you will, feeling more exposed with less layers that I identify with, but at the end of the day, going to be sleeping better because I'm a little more nimble. That armor's heavy, right? That armor's heavy. So, yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I want to honor you for your sharing. It's really empowering at different levels. So thank you for that. Checking in with a lot of gratitude, despite being unable to shake off this bug that I've been fighting for the last 2 weeks, keeps coming back. But regardless of that, despite of that, I'm checking in with a lot of gratitude, happiness, excitement, a lot of good stuff. I would say I will check in with that.
Comes down to me, you guys. Honestly, this week's been crazy, man. Actually, not even this week. These last few months for me have been a whirlwind of shit that I just did not expect. I went from, you know, obviously being completely on my own, single, to I'm looking at getting married. Today I'm actually finally signing my
Whoa.
update.
Should we pause this for a second here?
All right, this is now an intervention.
Yeah.
So
Just kidding.
essentially today I'm going to sign the marriage paperwork, like the licensing and shit, to
Wow.
go to the next process.
Congrats,
you know?
man.
Dude.
Congrats on that, man. Congrats.
So I'm checking in with like a lot of shit, dude. Like I'm excited, you know, I'm anxious a little bit. And that anxiety just whirls around the fact that, you know, it's just busy. I work like crazy. I'm a barber, and, you know, there's always someone in the chair. I literally had a conversation with a client the other day, and he's just like, how are the holidays treating? You know, I know you get really busy. I'm like, dude, ever since COVID, every week's like a holiday for me. Like, that's how my clientele list is now, where every week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's 5 a.m., 8 p.m., 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. nonstop. And so doing that while tackling the obstacles of, you know, moving in my fiance back into the house, and then getting all those in order with the days that I have off, but also mixing the balance of like family time to us still having fun, and like we're gonna go snowboarding on Monday, but that we also have to like move all her shit on Sunday as much as we can at least, and trying to like incorporate all the things that keep me healthy, keep me good, but also balancing, you know, a dual life, and also my work life. It can feel like a lot, but I'm taking it day by day. You know, I'm very grateful. I'm very happy where I'm at, and I'm in a place where, dude, shit's cool. You know, shit's really good, feels good. The highs and the lows really aren't even really there. But at the same time, I appreciate the lows because they bring the gratitude for those really good highs. You know, so there's never anything that really like knocks me down. But it definitely helps lift up the dope shit. So I'm checking in with gratitude. I'm really happy and excited. Like I said, that nip of anxiety, but that's just that day-to-day life shit, man. Like, we all go through it, you know? But I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. How about you, Charlie?
Oh, first, congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
Step, dude. This year has been a little different. It's strange. I mean, I came into 21 thinking like we're gonna crush it this year, and I mean we're still doing well. And so what I'm checking in with is you know, I've had this one concept that's been really strange to me the last couple of weeks, and somebody was talking to me, and they were like asking me about my last relationship. I was like, oh yeah, that person was the love of my life. He was like looking at me, he was like, well, what if you were the love of your life? And I've been checking in with that for the last couple of weeks, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm in like self-gratitude, self-love, like as cheesy as it may sound, man.
Not at all, dude. I went through that right before this whole process.
Yeah.
And before I got reconnected with my girl. So the background is because you don't know, like, me and my girl were together for almost 4 years. You know, this is like a 4-year deal that's been going on, and we've been off and on, and things have happened. And when I was by myself, and I essentially went into what you just said, changed a lot about myself, man, and it made me like really see the two sides of the page. Like, you start to recognize and things start coming up. You're like, damn, maybe I wasn't that dope. Maybe I was doing this. Maybe I need to. And it's not like you bash yourself down. But you really start. This is what I really need to work on. Like, there's some shit that I got to work on. It's not just pointing the fingers and looking at other places. Sometimes you got to look at that mirror and look at yourself. And give yourself that love that you do need, though.
No, that's really what it's about too. I've been asking myself questions like, if I was the love of my life, like, how would I treat myself? You know, I'd be kinder to myself, nicer to myself, be more patient, take care of myself as if I was taking care of somebody else. You know, and I mean, by default, we're gonna see there's 5 people in this room. We're all the most important people in this room. By default, because we're in this body. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to love ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, who else is gonna love us? So where I was operating from was a place of like, oh, let me take care of that for that person. Let me take care of this for this person. Then I end up thinking, damn, my cup feels empty because I constantly pour it out for somebody else. And you know, energy doesn't just rejuvenate on its own. You know, we're exchanging energy right now. Like, I train with Antonio every day, every morning. Honestly, like, the past couple of weeks, I've been coming in just silent, just really just in meditation. And that, to me, is me generating energy for myself with just working with him. I mean, really, I'm at the gym, but I'm moving energy around. That's all I'm doing. You know, it's the body's the byproduct, you know. But me and him, like, sometimes he'll feel my energy, be like, yo, you good? I'm like, I'm good. You know, or are you good? I'm like, not today. Let's get it. And we're just moving energy around, and really, to me, so that's been my pillar.
You know,
every morning.
And how beautiful is that you have someone that you can share that with?
He's
you
the
know
man, bro. He's the man.
Absolutely, he is, man.
Man,
And that's something to recognize in a person, and especially as a trainer. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched the community and been around things like that for so long, and I've seen people struggle. Especially, like I said, I get people that sit in my chair and like they open up about shit they wouldn't with other people. Oh, you know, and trainers are one of them where there's like, oh, you know, this person I went to go see train. I'm like, why don't you seem stoked about it?
Yeah.
Oh, I get this trainer at 24-hour fitness. Or I did this. I'm like, no, do you love him? Like, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
You know, but when you can find someone like that actually cares, because this dude's got the biggest heart in the world, bigger than him, even bigger than him.
Sure.
You know, that's
I'm in gratitude every morning for Antonio. I mean, if it wasn't for him, it's like it's. I set my morning every day to a routine, but that's the number one win. That's the first win I do every morning. Yeah. And as soon as I'm out the gym, like I got the whole day, but I'm good. I got that win.
You know, one of the first conversations that I've had with you was that time when you attended our men's group.
Yeah.
And it's a constant with you, the term gratitude and the theme of self-care. And you proposed a crazy dope strategy that I would like for you to share with the listeners and the viewers about how you write a letter to a special thing to refill. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah. It's called a letter of gratitude, and that's what we're talking about, right?
Yes,
letter
sir.
of gratitude,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just it's strange. Not strange. If you're doing it, then it's more of like, okay, it's an exercise. But as you're doing it, you're getting into a rhythm of like, man, I'm like what you said. Damn, I'm actually kind of dope. Yeah. You know, I'm actually kind of dope. So what it really is you're writing a letter to gratitude. Gratitude isn't a thing. It's energy, and you'll hear me talk about energy a lot because I believe in that. I'm very spiritual in that sense, where energy is all around. This is exchange of energy. Energy is all around us. So gratitude is just more of recognizing what that may be for you. Yeah. Like you heard me talk about it just an instance, like with Antonio, right? And this letter is just giving thanks to gratitude as if it was something real, tangible. Yeah. And what that does is it puts you into a space of just absolute gratitude for you, your life, and everything that's going on beyond it, because it's bigger than you.
Gratitude is it's an awareness, man.
It's an awareness.
It's like an awakening. Like once you have that and you found that, it becomes like almost another extension of yourself.
Absolutely.
And to anyone listening who is interested in giving this a shot, I've been doing this since I heard him say this, and it may be a little odd in the beginning, but it's absolutely transcending. I'd like to thank you personally, bro, from my heart, for introducing me to that process and to that method, because what he's saying is absolutely valid, it's absolutely true, and you become very intimate with gratitude, and it becomes a real thing for you. It's not a figment of your imagination. It's no longer something intangible. It's absolutely real, right?
Yeah, well, let me touch on that just a minute, because like in life, we all have things that we fixate on, and it's easy to get distracted. Life is a road that is traveled by many. There's so many different places to get to your destination. There's so many things that distract you. There's so many things that knock you off course. But the kings of our society and the people that make moves are the ones that do the most basic disciplines every day, which is set your mindset, take care of your body, drink a lot of water, don't talk shit. It's like, to me, that is like the most simple, easy things you can do every day to align yourself to a place where you're in the most authentic being and energy every day. Because not just that, but I know I'm rambling, but where I'm going with this is going back to love of my life kind of deal. Like, you got to protect that energy that you have every day.
Because you are the creator and the protector of it.
Yes, you are. Your energy is so important, and if you see yourself as an important being, and you see yourself as let's say your higher self, then you will protect that energy as if you are your own temple, as if you are the man and the source of all your pain and all your joy comes from this energy source. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So all the more reason for you to protect that energy.
Sacred.
It's sacred. It's sacred. This is church. I go to church every day with you every morning. That's my church. Why? Because I reset my mindset. But I journal every morning as well. If I can do it before the gym, if not right after the gym, boom, I'm getting it. And these are all tools for us human beings, flawed human beings, to realign ourselves. So I don't want to take up all the time, but man, there's so much like richness. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting solid points. Like, it's dope because it's It's exactly what we like to talk about. You know,
Yeah.
It's exactly what we're all about. And
Yeah.
those things like you're saying, being grateful. It's a practice, man. And I think that a lot of people out there don't realize, understand. Like, you know, I was actually talking to my lady about it. You know, we always talk about how grateful we are with each other around the house. You know, even in the most random shit.
Yeah.
Because even practicing that,
Yeah.
it creates that habitual. It's just like training. It's like working out. You know. And I told her, it's like, hey, you know what? I'm grateful, but I'm also thankful.
Yes.
And at the point, she's like, isn't that the same thing? Like, we kind of had this like back and forth debate of like, what's really, and I was like, wait, what is, you know, is there really a difference? And there actually is. You know, gratitude is the embodiment of like something like larger scale, like when someone is always doing something for you, or there is something going on, regular patterns and habits where you're like, man, I'm grateful for the person that you are. But then thankfulness is the short term. Thankful is, you know, Antonio borrowed my car, but then he put gas in it. Thank you for doing that. So having the understanding of what both are as individual aspects and then sharing that and being able to use it and differentiate that, it's kind of dope to like have that broader spectrum of what's each. So that way you're not just loosely using the terms, oh, thank you, or I'm thankful. No, you know when you're grateful, you know when you're thankful, and how to apply those and how to broaden that aspect of that energy that you create. And that way it's not just a, like I said, a loosely used like, I'm grateful, you know what I mean? Like we're diving deeper into what like gratefulness is and how far can you really like pinpoint.
Exactly.
You know, because I feel like once you really start kind of getting, it's like that hole starts out here with gratitude, and then you start getting tighter and tighter and tighter. But once you can get that like that ascension point, it gets hard. You almost have to use a fine tooth comb to really get to that point. But once you get to that pinpoint, that's when like that explosion happens.
There it is. There it is.
A question for you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Sticking with the theme of gratitude. When you say you're grateful, are you grateful for everything that it's within your sight, or for stuff that didn't even materialize yet, but you are working towards?
That's a great question, man. That's a great question. You know, this year I've been doing a lot of personal growth, and what that's all about is last year we crushed it. COVID, I don't know about anybody else, but we stay working. We grind it down. I told my staff, look, you can either go home or you can stay at home, sit on your ass, or you can come to work and make some money. So everybody was like, yo, we with you. We're here. The point I'm trying to make is last year we came in, we crushed it, we stuck to our guns, we stayed healthy. Okay, I'm not saying let's not stay healthy. We stayed healthy, we were diligent, we were educated, and we took the proper steps. So coming in 21, I was like, listen, this is what we did this year. This is what I want to do. This is what we did last year. This is what I want to do this year. I've got it. I know what it takes to do what I did last year, but I don't know what it takes to do what I'm going to do this year. So I hired on a crew. I went to go see my therapist again. I got an energy coach. I got a spiritual coach. I'm being accountable to myself with Antonio. I had a different trainer last year, but this is a different thing. This is a different thing. I can't explain it, but it's a different thing. It's sharp. We're sharp. He makes me a better man. He demands things from me without even having to say it. It's like we have this unspoken language that we just speak about without speaking. So it's a whole different thing. So what I'm getting at is I'm actively raising my level to a different bar. And so when you're asking me what am I grateful for, I'm grateful for everything. I've changed my mindset. I used to be a victim to all the circumstances that held me back, but now I reframed it into asking myself, okay, what does gratitude really mean to me, and how does it affect my life? Everything now is working for me versus working against me, in the sense where I would victimize myself with a certain situation, be like, man, that thing happened to me last year, or it happened to me when I was 12, and that's the reason why like I'm coming from this space again. Where now I'm like, that's what happened for me when I was 12, and it made me who I am today. I'm grateful for the pain that it took me, that it educated me for me to get here. And all the wins, that's just icing. Yep. So I just this year I'm much more aware of how crazy I can manifest things. How crazy I can manifest things. Again, it's energy, man. You put it out there, and it charters you on this path for you to receive what you've asked for. And energy is neutral. It takes the same amount of energy to be negative as well as to be positive, so it's neutral. Now I'm choosing the light versus the dark. They call it shadow work. I'm not working in shadow. I talked to my coach. I was like, yo, fuck all that, man. I'm working to the light. We call this day work now. Light work. This is light work. So now I'm manifesting things from a greater perspective. And whatever comes my way, I don't even look at it anymore. I just look at, okay, this is working for me. How can I use this energy and Tai Chi this shit for it to be
You're readjusting your chi.
Exactly. That's it. That's reset chi every day.
I like
that
that
shit's
idea.
crazy.
I like the idea about, energy being neutral.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I think, a lot of things of what we're asking of people is to just be a little bit aware of what's going on with yourself, with human nature, be your N1 study and try to understand what's happening. But psychology is major in this, right? And although energy is neutral, the effect that thinking negative or sliding into that darkness has on you. We're wired in a way and where we're supposed to look towards the negative. You know what I mean? So although energy itself might be neutral, when you slide into that negative side, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get out. So you got to emphasize the light, like you said. You got to almost shut that door off to it. Just be like, no, we're focusing on light, because the natural tendency is to slide to that darkness, right? And trying to figure out how to prevent that.
Yeah. I got to say something about this. So if everything is neutral and everything is energy, including money, right? And we look at fear, fear is something the human body uses to signify survival. If you take it back to when we were just strip it down to Neanderthal, right? We live in a very comfortable society right now where we've never had this level of peace in our lives. Back in our ancestors, they had to worry about wild animals, tigers, bears, even little insects coming to get you. So that fear was built into us for natural causes, natural reasons, for let you know, like, oh, okay, oh shit, something's coming.
Like you said, pure survival instinct.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you understand that, then you understand fear. If you understand fear, then it's just energy. Yeah. Fear is just something we don't know about yet. But if we think about it, fear works for us, and it could be our friend if we just go past that breaking point. Because money is just energy. Money is just energy. Money, before there was greenbacks, there was bartering. Yep. It's the same energy. If we both agree this is worth $10, I'm going to trade you that for something else. Yep. So if we go by that philosophy, money is just energy. When you understand that part, bro, you got life figured out, bro. You're going to be a rich motherfucker. Because that's all it is. It's an equal exchange of energy. You can always regenerate that by becoming. Money is... Dude, you attract the things you want by the person that you become. Money is like a butterfly. You can't... You chase it, it'll just... Right? It'll disappear. But you must attract it with the energy, with the type of person that you are. So when you look at that and you include that fear in there... You do enough education, you get yourself and your chi and your mindset like all aligned, that fear dissipates. And it just becomes like, that's a friend. Thank you, fear. Thank you for teaching me. What are you trying to tell me? I got this.
Absolutely, man. And I think that dials back to what you're even saying. Energy is neutral. Yeah. And a lot of the times I feel like a lot of people out in the world pull the, why me? Yeah. Why does this shit keep happening to me? Why life? Yeah. I got all this bad. Well, nobody ever wants to check themselves. What kind of energy are you putting out there? Yeah. What kind of energy are you surrounding yourself with? It's even been, I read this a while back. It's a scientific study to show energy can be measured. Mm-hmm. That's a frequency. Mm-hmm. The energy that goes into a positive thought frequency is a higher and tighter frequency. Yeah. And it actually travels further. Yeah. Negative is actually a wider bad frequency, and it can't travel as far. Mm-hmm. So if you really think about it, if your life's all fucked up, how much negative shit are you feeding into your life for that to build up that much when all you need is a little bit of positive to be able to put the same type of energy fill into the same room box? In that same box. If you have two boxes, you got to put a tiny bit of positivity to fill up that box. And this same box over here, but it's just pure negative, you got to fill that shit up. Yeah. And if your life is that fucked up, your life is that bad for you, or whatever, you're looking at it and you're kind of like reflecting like, man, my shit just ain't going right. Mm-hmm. Then what aren't you doing right? Mm-hmm. What are you feeding yourself? Mm-hmm. What are you reflecting on? What are you dwelling on? Like you said, you got to fill up that cup. If you're not putting that energy to fill up that cup, but it's something we've talked about before. Yes. I've gone through like a DMT trip, and I was going through this like, damn, we have those two energy tanks. We have the negative and we have the positive. And the negative we fill up that's when we internalize. That's when we get hurt. But it's like, it's going to be okay. But if we don't empty that shit, then it just goes over and it becomes toxic for us. Mm-hmm. But the same thing, positive one, we use that one up like fuel. Mm-hmm. And if we don't refill that one, guess what? The tank goes empty. Mm-hmm. But it's like you said, energy's new. They don't pick sides. It doesn't pick, this person deserves it more. Yeah. No, you got to go manifest. You have to draw that. You have to become that magnet and pull that shit in, man. Exactly. And people, I think, don't think that's a thing, like you say, the paper chase. Yeah. But are you paper chasing for the right reasons? You know, what are your motives? What are you after? Is it the fame? Is it this? I want to drive the dope. Nah, there's people out there that we just talked to. Jason, man, he's like, yo, I roll a Mazda. You know what I mean? I'm like, good for you, dude. Like, you don't care, you know, because it's not about that. If you don't got the right energy behind you, that money means nothing. Yeah. You know, and you probably can attest to that. It's like, that shit don't mean nothing if you don't got your shit right.
It don't mean nothing.
He said it again. He said the magic word, bro, is manifestation.
That's right.
So we're both holding this. My bad. There you go. We're both holding this, right? I'm holding this. We're both trying it. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to you speak, and I'm hearing, you know, a magnitude, a multitude of perspective.
Yes, sir.
And I'm curious. I'm huge on personal growth and where someone grows from. I'm curious as to how and what was the process from who you used to be, if you were a certain person, to me being able to hold, me being able to hold this product that I love, that I use. What was the process? Who were you beforehand? Was it a person? Was it a tragic event? Was it maybe an enlightening event? All of the above.
Story
Please
time.
share.
It's story time.
Put me on the spot. Well, I mean, I'll give you the short version, you know. See, I was born here, raised in Seattle. Short version would tell you my parents were divorced ever since I can remember. Both remarried, both divorced around the same time. By the time I was in high school, I'd already gone to 13 different schools, including military school. So, I mean, my story isn't unique in the sense of this is America. What's unique is having two parents still in love, having a healthy household, a place to go home for the holidays. That's a unique story. Growing up, I thought my story was unique, but that wasn't unique. It was like everybody else's story. So I guess in a sense, my backbone came from the family that I created from my friends. Grew up kind of rough in the sense where I had to figure things out on my own. I was pretty much taking care of myself when I was 16. In that sense, didn't really have any. I graduated high school, but I didn't really have any college education. I did 2 years of GED, and then I found my story is kind of funny. I found network marketing. You guys know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
The only reason why I did
like
it.
in the Formula One shakes on Herbalife?
We were selling some jank-ass internet service, but the only reason why I stayed was because of the personal development that I got in that company. I was introduced to a gentleman named Jim Rohn. I call him Grandpa Jim. But Jim Rohn was a business philosopher. Never heard of personal development before, ever. I was 20 years old, trying to figure out my life. Sleeping on a futon on the ground and just dead ass broke. I was hustling, by the way. I mean, yeah, this is on record, so I ain't saying too much, but I'm saying I was making moves. And in the midst of all that, I found Jim Rohn, and he kind of changed my philosophy on life. He listening to his, well, back then it was CDs.
Compact.
CDs and reading books. I was so infatuated, obsessed with personal development that I read every book that I can come across. One in particular that changed my life was Think and Grow Rich. Have you guys heard of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich, that's part of my library. Then obviously I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All those books. I read all those books. And then as I applied it to my life, I've lost my fortune 3 times. First time due to inexperience of how to invest your money. Second time, I just took some big L's. And this is the third time go around. So I lost my fortune twice, not 3, twice. But this is the third time go around. I'm of age now. I'm 40 years old. And I've taken those lessons, and what I've done is once I understand money was energy, I stopped putting my attachments to greenbacks. I started putting attachments to the people around me and the groups of people I hold around me. So I call my tribe. Now, as you hear me speak about this, you'll hear me say energy a lot, and now I'm going to use the word tribe. And the reason why I say that is because you've heard this saying, the 5 people that you hang around is who you are. Yeah. Well, they also affect your money and your energy. If they affect your energy, they'll affect your money. And so you guys got to constantly be on the same page for you to be at the same levels. Now, I'm not asking anybody to be at the same level as me or me as them, but I'm asking for the same effort. So if you don't have the same effort, we don't share the same mindset. We don't share the same mindset, you're not in my circle. If you're not in my circle, you're not eating at my table. Yep. You're not eating at my table, I don't even know you. So, in a sense, you know, I have different teams of people to support me in my life. Antonio being one of them, my therapist, and all those things. Energy Works being one of them. There's people at this table. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we do because this is the equal exchange of value. You know, I do those things to maintain this level of lifestyle because I know that being a human being, there's a lot of things that we got to do to keep ourselves on track. So there's tools. This is part of the tool. Otherwise, I'll be somewhere probably in solitude. To be honest, I'm much older now, so I know how to maintain my energy. And so to give you the short version, that's kind of like how my life is comprised now, how and who I was before, which is a person of scarcity, a person of just victimization, and somebody who thought, damn, I got a chip on my shoulder, 2 chips on my shoulder. I thought the world owed me something. I thought why am I always the one not getting put on? Like, I felt like Kanye before he was Kanye. You know, I felt you know what I'm saying? I was just like, why? And the more I say why, the more energy I put out as why. Then I got why money, you know? So the bank doesn't really take why money. So I had to change my mindset into thinking, okay, this is now. What am I going to do about this now? What am I going to do about this now? I knew how to generate income, but the second part was how do I maintain the income? It's like they always tell you, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. They don't tell you the third part. It's not how much money you keep, it's how much money you invest. And so that's what I'm learning now. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's all energy. It's all energy. You got to read in between the lines. It's all energy.
What were some of those like tangible shifts, you know? So, you know, you took it's not how much I make, it's how much I keep, and now it's how much I invest. You know, what does that look like from action items as far as like, you know, how do you even think about, say, keeping money? Are you like, all right, I don't need this car, I don't need this thing, or whatever it might be, and then, you know, how does that look like from your investment
Great question.
strategy or whatnot?
Great question. Now, I'm not no guru or anything, so take this with a grain of salt. This only worked for my life. Once I understood that money was energy, then I became abundant to that. I came abundant to that mindset. And what does abundance mean? Abundance means just I have an overwhelming energy for X. So that also spills into the type of investments I make. But, I mean, getting down to the literal things, you got to have something that you're building that is tangible that can create and generate income. That's a well. You got to keep that oiled. That's a machine. Once you get that machine, I mean, a lot of people rely on that machine to make sure that their life is set. But if that machine ends up breaking down or shutting down, that's it. Your lifeline's out. So you got to think beyond that. As a business owner, I'm a serial entrepreneur. As a business owner and entrepreneur, I always know I have to have multiple streams of income. You don't have to have multiple companies that generate income. You just have to have multiple things that generate income. You can't. You also have to understand that you can't trade your time for money. That never works, no matter what you do. I mean, I know you're a barber, but when you get into a mindset of like, okay, I got to sell products. Okay, how do I do that? Well, I got to franchise, or I got to create a barbershop, or I got to create barber chairs. Whatever. You get into that mindset, then your energy changes, your intention changes. You know what I'm saying? So you always come into a place or an investment with an intention. I don't invest into anything I don't know, and I don't invest into any people that I'm not like. I haven't vetted. You know what I'm saying? Because money. I told you this before, making money and creating a partnership is a very intimate thing. Like you and me, if we were to create something together, it's a very intimate thing. I have to know you. I have to know you backwards and forwards, because when I invest into something, that's not just my money, that's my energy. And if it fails, okay, and we both agree like we did something and it fails, okay, cool. We can just shake hands about it. But if it fails because something I didn't do or something you didn't do, that's going to build resentment for myself. Like I failed that business because I wasn't well equipped. I wasn't well equipped because I wasn't educated enough. So when you get into that mind space, like those are my tangibles. So I can invest into crypto, I can invest into real estate or whatever that's solid, or I can invest into another business. That just goes on personal preference. But the same principles go into the same thing, meaning like you got to get to know what you're getting yourself into. I just don't invest into people and things that I don't know.
No good money,
Gems, bro. Gems, bro.
All money are good money.
Not all money is good money, and that's what you got to understand too. That's energy. Because let's just say somebody else on the other table was a shitty person, but dude, I know so many people that are just not that great, but they're great making money. Doesn't mean I want to touch that money. Because when I touch his energy, my money's gonna get spoiled. Whatever energy he's creating, he's doing for himself, that might come back to me.
You
bringing that mold into your bread. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so I'm 4 years old. I'm in a place where if I make it to another 40, I'm gonna be grateful. But my next 40, like I told my homie the other day, I was like, man, I'm looking down the barrel at 40, and now I'm making big boy decisions. Like, there's no more time to play. When I was pre-40 in my 20s and 30s, I can make all the shitty decisions I want. I got the time and the energy to bounce back. It's nothing. But now it's hard to bounce back at 40.
Yeah, and I think, what I think we all aspire to, what we're seeking right now is, better role models. Maybe a lot of us didn't actually have the models that we're trying to ultimately be ourselves. Not to take anything away from my role models growing up. My dad was provided like none other for us. Went to work every fucking day, put in long hours. Resulted in being a little stressed out, maybe. Not being very emotionally available or whatever it might be, but we didn't have any like models to shape any kind of entrepreneurial or wealth generate, so like, and then when we do look for it, like you mentioned, I think there's a ton of people out there killing it, making a shit ton of money, but I don't want to model after that because, what's the good in following somebody's pursuit of money when they're leaving empty tanks in regards to relationships and all of that, right? So it's like, I think really, if anybody's listening to, like, don't get caught up in the flash and the whatnot, like pull back a few more layers of these models that you're looking to maybe mentor you remotely or whatever it might be, and look at their family life.
Dude,
look at that. Same idea with the person that has like that killing it in the relationship, but he ain't got fucking no money in the bank or no habits around taking care of himself, but he's a fucking great partner. Like, that's cool and all, but why model after that person if you're trying to be this 4-pillar type of dude,
That's such a great point. Why do you think that is that they don't teach entrepreneurship in school?
School.
See, now we're getting into a whole nother conversation that I don't want to get into.
It's all that one, man.
All I will say is, like, they don't want you to win. They want to keep you. School is meant. School is exactly. School is to teach you a curriculum and a timestamp for you to go to work and create wealth for somebody else.
I have good news there, Charlie. Actually, that model is changing. The model is changing. I know, as you know, I have twin girls, years old. So we've been shopping for school, and we came across these. They call it camp. They don't label it as a school. They call it camp. And actually, one of the programs is entrepreneurship.
Hell yeah!
So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. We have an interview coming up. Just to actually on that's shifting.
That's the first I've ever heard of anything.
So, congrats on that, man.
Because they get you used to that 40-hour work week since you're in kindergarten. You know what I mean? They're used to sitting here, listening to one person tell you what to do, how to do it. They don't teach you how to do your taxes. They don't teach you how to check some balances. They're teaching you all the other shit by the time you get out.
To win.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with us as parents, right? And it's like a friend of mine reshared a post on Instagram. It was, like, you're willing to invest $100,000 into your children's college, but you're not willing to invest in their potential business. You know what I mean? And just trying to, it's not all about like handouts for your children, but reframing that. Like, why are you banking on this education system that is not really going to,
that it's labeled as a safe bet,
right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, let me throw something else at you. They don't teach you how to deal with people. Okay? Like, there's plenty of business schools that teach you the principles, but they don't teach you how to deal with people, and that's 99% of owning a company.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I figured out.
I mean, I would say that's the only thing I learned in high school. I mean, as far as like, and that wasn't for everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody got that lesson. Just the way that I'm wired and like
it's a gift.
My defense mechanisms resulted in like adapting and be like, oh, okay, this is how you play this situation. This is how you talk to this girl. This is what you say over here.
It's a gift.
And like, I just got to kind of hone that skill a little bit. But I mean, I would say, like, if I'm thinking about like my kids, if I had the choice, like, I would put them kind of in some of the roughest fucking schools so that they can kind of figure that shit out.
It's been statistically shown that kids in this generation now are so socially unconnected. They don't know how to even interact. That's why things like Zoom and all that, they work.
Bro.
You put them in front of a screen, and they're the most comfortable they've ever been. You put them face to face with someone most of the time. And I even have kids that sit down and stuff, and I always tell them, hey, man, I try to have conversations with them. They want to be on the phone, whatever. The minute I try to make eye contact with them, they'll instantly just go,
So weird to see
and
in
I'll
person.
tell them, and I always know the dads, so we're cool. I'm like, hey man, chest up with confidence, head up with confidence, and they're just kind of like this is what I want to look at you. So I'm like, hey, but you'll watch later on as it keeps happening. They start sitting in the chair and then. And I'm like, dope, man. Like, walk like that, talk like that, be that way. Because then once you make eye contact with someone, my lady does just shit all the time. She'll just see someone like, I love your beanie, I love your hair, when I watch people's eyes light up. Because they're having human contact, not only that, just positive human contact. Someone that's actually like really appreciating, taking notice of small things. That little bit of interaction, people, makes a huge difference, man. Instead of just like, let me text you that later.
Do you think we're just being boomers here though, as far as like, as far as when you witness this in person, like this 16-year-old fucking YouTuber, like I've had a couple of these kids come through the space bar for like ice baths and shit. Yeah. And, like I'll see them perform on camera or whatever. And it's like charming as fuck. Right. And then this one kid in particular, like 16-year-old fucking yoked ass, like little bodybuilder. It was the weirdest thing trying to talk to this kid and like just head down. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? So like we're, like say someone's listening to this and this, this kid's like, we're saying how you got to be a people person. You got to learn how to at least communicate and whatnot. Are they just like, fuck you, bro, I'm living in the metaverse. I don't give a shit. I don't need to connect with anybody because my world is on this other, are we?
It's a fuck you. I think it's more like they just.
Do they even?
They don't know any better.
But do you think they're like, oh, maybe I do need to work on my people skills? Or they just like, I'm living in this camera. I get paid through this camera. You know what I mean? And they're just like, why? Why do I need that?
I mean, I'm not authority on this subject, but I do know one thing is, every generation has something where they always say, things have changed. I mean, our parents will tell this.
Back in my day.
Oh my God! I had gas.
At that point now, back in my day, I used to walk 10 miles in the snow.
Now you guys have seatbelts. No, I'm saying like we're living in the world, and now it's a strange time. It's a strange time to be alive, but it's the greatest time to be alive because with technology, everything is going so fast. Yeah. I mean, kids don't have to go to school nowadays to make money. Anybody can make money, and that's never happened before. That's why you have a lot of people who are like socially awkward or whatever, everything that you're talking about, because they literally, dude, there's this damn kid. He's like a toy reviewer.
Oh, Ryan or what?
Kills it, bro.
His parents.
He's retired for life.
He plays with toys.
Boom. For life.
Millions.
He doesn't have to do nothing. But what does that do to your psyche though? When you winning that hard, winning that fast, what does that do for your personal growth? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can go down this rabbit hole all day, but I'm saying, that probably has something to do with it. And I don't know how to fix that. I just know, I live in a different world, different generation, so I like this.
It's only one way to find out.
We all mentioned and wellness a little bit. Yeah. You mind telling us a little bit about the background of the company? And
yeah.
Going on there.
Well, and wellness kind of came from. It's funny. It's a funny story. I have a company that does CBDs called Nourish Wellness. Unfortunately, you can't do any paid advertising or just any marketing online. And so this is more of like a Trojan horse approach in the sense where I just wanted to take the name and brand it and get it into stores so that when federally we legal to sell CBD everywhere, we'd already have products in stores and we just kind of turn it over. But we kind of came across this product and stumbled across this thing called it's called Fresh Tech. It's in our drink. It's basically just means that it's shelf stable for up to a year. So when people ask me, well, what is your away shot like? Well, I kind of tell them it's a superfood wellness shot in the sense where if you go to any
All Foods Mothers.
Yeah, or you go to like a Nectar and you get like the ginger shot.
Lifted Botanical Bar?
Yeah, that's right.
Or Fit Bar?
That's right. If you go to a Fit Bar and you get like a grass wheat shot.
We'll clean that up in post.
And the ginger shot, like you got to take it right away or lose the integrity. Well, this, it's powder based. It goes up against 5 energy drinks, and it's all natural, superfood. So in a sense, we kind of came across this technology and we came across a winning formula. So now it just became its own thing.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, I take it religiously every day before. I mean, I'm not just saying that. I really do before I see zoning every day. So it works for me.
This will be my 5 a.m. wake up call.
There you go. There it is. There it is.
Boom. That's right.
You got so there's 2 different flavors or varieties.
That's a relaxed shot. This is a wake shot. I take this one every morning. I take that one when I need to just kind of mellow out in the evening.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Daily's good.
Yeah. All right, dope, man. Yeah, no, I love that idea, and as far as like a bit of a Trojan horse,
yeah,
like with the whole
marketing.
Yeah, I mean, like so. like the psilocybin, for example. Like I think everyone's kind of feeling like this is going to be legalized. So, you know, you got to be a bit of a risk taker. You got to work in the gray area a little bit, but it's like a matter of like, how do you have these conversations? Like we all speak pretty openly, you know, if you follow me on my Instagram, you know, there's some capsules available, you know, that I can point you in the direction of. But you know, you are trying to legitimize this and build this awareness, build this email list. So it's like, you know, putting together some of these different formulas with just the functional mushrooms that have a lot of, you know, already research and support and thousands of years of backing, you know, just so you can kind of position yourself. And that's how you have to think. You have to think ahead, you know, and when you're trying to run these fucking Facebook ads for your, you know, CBD company, it's like nothing, you know, even with some of these, like if you were to try to run an ad and say like anxiety relief,
can't do
shut
it.
down. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, we could go on a whole nother thing about marketing because I need some motherfucking help
about that.
But man, we really try to keep this under an hour so we can stay engaged with the listeners. But any last notes that you'd like to kind of leave people with?
I don't know. I think I just spoke a lot. I don't know what.
What are you focusing on? What is your growth? What is your growth path aiming?
You know,
towards right now.
I've been actually thinking about that. As you know, I've told you I'm going to go to Kauai for my birthday this year, and I'm actually just gonna go on a spiritual journey. I told my boys, I was like, yo, I want you guys to come with me, and we're gonna go see God.
Hey.
So whatever that means to y'all, but I'm taking some mushrooms with me and kind of deep meditation and getting grounded to the earth. Really, why I'm doing that is because I want to understand what my next purpose is, what my next intention is. I like to say that I wake up with intention every day, but money's not, it doesn't move me. You know, I've made enough money in the sense where, like Jay-Z has a line in his song, he was like, yo, this is what all the fuss is about. You know, it was a song, but it hit me in the sense where like, okay, well, you get to a certain level, it's like, damn, this is what everybody talking about? Oh, I got this watch. Damn, it's just a watch, but damn, everybody, this is what it feels like? It doesn't make me feel any different. It's just my wrist is a little heavier. My car's a little faster. You know what I'm saying? My bank looks healthy, but I'm just in a point where I'm like, this is not the move. This is not the business.
What's next?
What's gonna fulfill me?
There's more, yeah.
Yeah, what's gonna fulfill me? Because I have a responsibility. The more I take from Mother Earth, the more I gotta give back from Mother Earth. In the sense of, like, I'm fortunate to have what I have in my life, and I feel a certain responsibility to give some of that energy back. In the sense where is this positivity gonna lead me? Where is this life gonna lead me? Because life is weird. It's set up in a way where, like, we're born, we live, and we die. Death is guaranteed. I used to fixate on that until I did DMT. I used to fixate on that, and now it's just like life is just one step in another process. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to create the most value I can possibly create. I don't know what that is yet, but I know it's not about chasing money. I know that.
That's awesome.
Sounds like a beautiful process, though.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
man. Yeah.
It's a journey, man. It's a journey, and
it's never ending.
Yeah,
It's never ending. Never ending.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate you sharing, man. You know, I think, you know, the story about you, you know, taking some L's and, you know, having to start over, you know, resonates with me. I've been kind of hanging on in order to not have to start over because, you know, part of me is just like, nah, I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. You know, like there's because I do believe, and I've seen this energy flow before. Like when we first did open our first business, like trying to get our hands on $10,000 seemed impossible. And then you just keep flowing. And now it's like $100K, and now it's like whatever. And it's like these things just, you're still the same person.
You're leveling, bro.
You just level up, and you know,
leveling.
so it's just like a little nerve wracking, kind of in the state that I'm in right now. But like hearing that, you know, again, because I'm, you know, not quite 40 yet, but I'm getting right there. But like knowing that if I needed to do that, like I got everything I need to generate more.
You do. Look at the men that you're surrounded by. Look at this.
Yeah,
These
no
are
doubt,
powerful
no
men.
doubt. So you know, it's very. That's why I love this shit, man. That's
No,
why I love our
I'm
Tuesday
saying you're
mornings. I
leveling.
love this. This is great. You know, it gives us more confidence, you know, and I think that's how, you know, we're fucking operating on a solid level, because through these conversations, at least for me, sometimes who I self-define like as sometimes a natural hater, where I'm just like, man, fuck, you know, sometimes I go there, but like with these conversations, it's just like all good. Like it feels
Yeah, 'cause
good.
we're in
There's
alignment.
you know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it is uplifting. This is all fucking good.
The last thing I'll say is that's why you can't share your energy. And when I journal every day, I always journal, because in my top of the journal, things you fill out and say, what do you pray for? I say to trust in my convictions. trust in my convictions. You must believe. If this last thing that you asked me, well, what you want to leave the listeners with, dude, you gotta believe. You gotta believe with undoubted, unshakable character, unshakable will, unshakable you gotta believe. And you cannot let anybody distract you. You cannot, because you're leveling. If there's anything I know about you, I mean, you're an entrepreneur, you made it this far, why aren't you gonna go all the way? The only way you can fail is if you quit, and you ain't gonna quit because you ain't dead yet.
That's right.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like the L's, people gotta stop looking at L's as like a bad thing. L's just replace L's with level. I'm taking some L's. Yeah, that just means I'm leveling. I'm becoming smarter. I know now I know not what to do. Now I know how to do it. But the most important thing is you got to believe, and don't let anybody tip you off the scale, man. Fuck that. You got to fucking put your head straight, put your blinders on. Don't fucking care. Don't listen to nobody. Do your thing, go home. Do your thing, go home. Do your thing, go home. Grind, and that's it. See your family, that's it.
Consistency is key,
That's
man.
it. Because people will hate on you, and they will tell you, we're crabs in a bucket, man. All day, every day. You know how many haters I got? All day, every day. But I don't pay that shit no mind. Because that doesn't mean nothing to me. It's just white noise. So you got to just block that shit out, bro.
I'm still over here lost. He said you're 40. I'm like, God damn, this dude 40? Hold on. I'm gonna start drinking this tonight. Drinking this shit tonight, sir.
I've told people about him, and he's like one of the pinnacles of like taking care of his mind and his body, his family, his bank. Like, fuck, bro, jams.
Appreciate you, bro.
Comprehensive man, bro. Like, seriously appreciate your time,
Appreciate
homie.
you, bro.
For real.
Thank you. You
on,
definitely dropped a lot of knowledge, and more than that, you just dropped a lot of energy. You know, obviously, we share these conversations, but we're sharing energy amongst each other. And the frequency in the room, I can definitely say it shit's dope.
Appreciate you
know
guys,
what I mean?
man.
Especially
you guys,
like,
man.
you know, I'm 35, and I hit that point in my life where I'm like, we've been, you know, me and Jeff work together, we do business together, but then I have also other things that I'm like working on.
Yeah.
And I hit that point, I'm like, yo, 5-year plan. I'm turning 35 in January. I'm like, yo, I made it this far. I'm doing these things.
Yep.
Okay, this year I'm gonna get this. This year we're gonna do this.
Turn up.
Straight up, man.
And not overextending myself, but knowing within confidence of like, yo, this is possible.
Yeah.
And if you do this, you need to stay patient. You know, you build this 1 year, all right. You know, use those residuals, get to the next, and then get to the next. Keep yourself at a good pace, but keep yourself accountable. You know, and just get to that point where once I'm 40, I look back and be like, cool, shit's set now. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Are we though? We ever good? No, we grinding, bro. We ain't
Grinding.
ever good, dog.
Grinding.
Share your,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your story, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for being open. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for
Thank you for being you.
yeah,
you,
man.
sir. Thank
Because you definitely touched on a lot of things that I think, like even the marketing that I do, I was around that shit, like the money market, dude. So when he said, I'm like, prepaid legal, shout out.
Prepaid legal, I remember that.
You remember that shit, dude? But the thing they used to do before we even check out, people used to do this. It's like they would do the checks.
Yeah.
You know, the winning checks. This person got $10,000 check.
Yeah.
This person got $1 million check.
Yeah.
It's always the same people. And for some weird reason, no one recognized that. And I'm like, you got the same motherfuckers up here. Do you guys not see what I'm seeing right now? It's like 3 weeks in, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out, dude. I see what's going on here. Sign me out. But yeah, thank you for like being real about stuff like that. 'Cause it's
Appreciate it,
definitely
man.
like people get confused in this world, man, and people get lost in the sauce. They look at all this shit. And they look at the glitz and glamour.
But you know, I'm nobody special. All I did is I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I just kept going.
You
People
are
look at me now.
That's
like,
wrong. You are somebody special.
Well,
'Cause you
I
love
appreciate that. I
yourself,
appreciate
no,
that.
we
I
love you,
appreciate
man.
that. I appreciate that. I
You
just
are
kept
somebody
going.
Special. Just like everybody else, all of us out there, we are somebody special, and that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Is recognizing that.
Yeah.
You are somebody special, and you can do some dope ass shit.
Appreciate it, man.
You just got to go for it.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Man.
y'all. Well, let everyone know where you can find y'all, man.
You can look us up at nwellness.com. Get all the shots you need, man. Appreciate the love and support, baby.
Yeah, he gave us a few packs, so I'm gonna fucking swipe these. So if you're in the Pasadena area, cruise by 600 East
I got
Colorado
you, baby.
Boulevard,
I got
Lifted
you.
Botanical Bar.
got you.
Get yourself a relaxed shot.
Just leave me a box.
That's it. You can find me at Cub_Saldana if y'all need anything.
Find me at Ant Woods, Ant_Woods with a Z.
Yeah.
You can find me at Strength Philosopher.
You can find me at Cutthroat Barber.
All right, y'all. Until next Wednesday, probably.
Wednesday,
All right,
better be
y'all.
out on Friday.
All right, you guys have a good one. Peace.
Bye.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Warriors Collective. If you like what you heard and this resonated with you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell so that you get all the alerts and updates of when new episodes come out. You can also find us on all podcast streaming channels, Apple, Spotify, and your other favorite channels as well.